अलग क्या है, तुम्हारा क्या है भाई? भाई क्यों पूछोगे? तुम कौन हो भाई पूछने वाले? बस बोलो कि अच्छा ये ऐसे बोलते हैं, ये बोलो। सीखने का तरीका, अच्छा। तो तुम हमेशा टीवी देखते रहते हो, कैसे बोलेंगे सर? यू आर ऑलवेज वॉचिंग टीवी। यस, ये हुआ सीखना। ये नहीं वाई, वाई मतलब कि वाई, ये क्या मतलब होता है? पता नहीं कहाँ से ये बीमारी पड़ती है लोगों को। खाली ये करना है, ठीक है, अच्छा ये ऐसे बोल देंगे, वाह इंग्लिश में ये लाइन ऐसा नहीं बोलना है, नहीं। ही ऑलवेज टेक्स्ट, नो ही इज ऑलवेज टेक्सटिंग।
Good evening, sir.
हेलो राखी, गिव मी अ सेकंड राखी, आई एम कनेक्टिंग माय
Sir.
स्पीकर।
कितना क्यों स्ट्रेस हो रहा है?
हम्म, ये हुआ एक्नॉलेज करना, इससे सीखने को मिलता है। इसमें फालतू एनर्जी वेस्ट नहीं करते आप। सीख गए, हमेशा हम पे चिल्लाते रहता है।
Good
ठीक।
evening, sir.
हमारी our success is that we use that sentence in the right place where students can easily understand what the woman is saying there. My boyfriend is always texting his female colleague. We push this upset. Did they notice it as well, or you are the only one? Okay. Hello Rukaiya, hello Rakhi.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening. Hello Saurabh.
Hi
हेलो।
sir.
हाँ जी, आप कहाँ हैं? आपको मुश्किल हो रही? आप किसी से पूछ लें सर का घर कौन सा है, वो बता देंगे। हाँ, किसी से, पीला पीला घर है हमारा। हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी। ठीक है, अच्छी ऊपर, मैं आपको रिसीव कर देता हूँ। I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Hello to everyone. Hello, can you hear me? Anyone? Yeah, I should. Can you hear me?
Baba. Baba.
Hey Rakhi, hey Rukaiya.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
सबको लड़की ये खाली नहीं जाता बताओ।
Yes, sir is coming back.
या अल्लाह।
या अल्लाह। साहिल,
कहाँ बाबा?
what's going
सारे
on, Sahil?
कुछ स्पेशल?
Sahil doesn't know.
Good evening.
He's unmuted. Hello, Sana. Okay, so I have a question. मेरा भाई हमेशा मुझ पे चिल्लाता रहता है। मेरा भाई हमेशा मुझ पे चिल्लाता रहता है। Say it in English. मेरा भाई मुझ पे हमेशा चिल्लाता रहता है।
My brother always shot on me.
Hmm. Okay, Sanna, Sahil, Rakhi, Saurabh, Rizvi, all of you. मेरा भाई हमेशा मुझ पे चिल्लाता रहता है.
My brother always screaming at me.
Okay, मेरा भाई मुझ पे हमेशा चिल्लाता रहता है. English.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
My
Rizvi.
My brother always scolds me.
Okay,
God.
मेरा भाई मुझ पे हमेशा चिल्लाता रहता है. Everybody has to quickly. Sana, Sahil, Saurav. Sahil has already spoken. Saurav hasn't. Sana hasn't.
My brother always yells me.
Yells at me. Okay. Shout, yells, scream. I take them all. I don't have a problem with the word. Okay. All three are absolutely fine. The scold is fine too. I don't mind the scold. Okay. Saurav, मेरा भाई हमेशा मुझ पे चिल्लाता रहता है.
My brother always just screaming at me.
A little louder, Saurav.
My brother always just screaming at me.
Okay. Mukarram,
Yes, sir.
मेरा भाई हमेशा मुझ पे चिल्लाता रहता है.
My brother always scold at me, screaming at me, yelling at me.
चलो ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. Everybody, now I have another translation question for you. मेरा बॉयफ्रेंड हर समय अपने फीमेल कलीग को टेक्स्ट करता रहता है.
My boyfriend is texting a female.
My,
My
Come on,
boyfriend
please.
is texting her.
my brother always
No, sir.
takes
It was a,
girlfriend.
every time my boyfriend is texting her female colleagues.
Okay, okay. Keep going, guys. Everybody, I need to hear it from you separately, individually. Sana, Rukhaya, Rakhi, Sarah, please answer quickly so that we can move on to the next thing. We don't want to spend the entire class discussing this one point only. Let's get rid of it. Let's.
My boyfriend always texts her female colleagues. His
बहुत
female
सारी
colleague.
गलती है. अच्छा चलो, ये तो बेसिक गलती यू करेक्टेड. चलो ठीक है. सना, सौरभ, रुकैया, मेरा बॉयफ्रेंड हर समय अपने फीमेल कॉलीग को टेक्स्ट करता रहता है.
My boyfriend always texts his female colleague.
Texting.
तो देखा अमन, फोकस करने का फायदा. तुम अपने आप को कहाँ पा रहे हो इस क्लास में? सबसे ऊपर. You find yourself at the top in a way because you learned something that they failed to learn. Why did you learn, beta? Because you paid attention. Because you made an effort outside the class, right? You revised your lesson. You tried to make sense of what you studied. And what happened? You benefited from it. So actually all courses work this way. Students are taught in the class and then they go home and they revise and they learn. And whoever breaks this cycle, okay, this process, doesn't get the best result. This is the recipe of success. Success in any course, whether you want to learn how to speak English or whether you want to learn maths or you want to learn how to repair a mobile phone, you're taught stuff, you think about those things, you revisit those lessons in your mind, you think about them, you bring your doubts to your teacher, and then you learn. You brought your doubt to me. They didn't. Result, they are all failing. Beta, all of you, you guys all made a mistake because yesterday we learned what page number was it? Page number 96 in the main book. Yes, right here, picture H. I'm sharing my screen with you all. I don't have much to say except that those who revise the lesson after the class is over, those who are interested in studying alone, एक बात बताऊं, मैं इस बात को बहुत अच्छे से जानता हूं, मैं पर्सनली एक्सपीरियंस कर चुका हूँ। सम पीपल एंजॉय स्टडिंग इन अ ग्रुप, कि उनको लोगों के सामने बोलने में मजा आता है, बाकी किसी और चीज में नहीं। ठीक है, वो स्लो प्रोसेस से सीखेंगे, बहुत स्लो, क्योंकि उनको तभी सीखने का मोटिवेशन आता है व्हेन दे हैव एन ऑडियंस। बात समझ में आ रही है? There are different kinds of motivations. One is intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation gives you pleasure, joy in doing the things. For example, you enjoy playing the piano. कोई सुन रहा है नहीं सुन रहा, doesn't matter. You play the piano. But दूसरा motivation होता है outside motivation, okay, external motivation. जब ऑडियंस है तो आप बजाते हैं क्योंकि आपको वाहवाही सुनना है, आपको पियानो बजाने में मजा नहीं आता है, बेसिकली आपको मजा आता है वाहवाही लेने में। Then you play the piano only when there are people listening to you. बाकी आप अकेले हो तो छूते भी नहीं पियानो को। I hope you understand. तो बताइए किसमें किसको किस चीज से प्यार है? In the first situation, when you are playing the piano, when you are alone, it means you really enjoy playing the piano. And then you only play the piano when there are people. Yes, you play well, no doubt. You play only when there are people to listen to you because they give you compliments and you enjoy them, right? So there are students who only enjoy studying in the class because in the class they get a chance to speak and they enjoy it, that some people are listening to them. I'm not saying there is anything wrong with it, okay? But you should understand that your main passion is not learning English. Your main passion is speaking publicly. Public speaking is your passion. Speaking English is not your passion. Learning English is not your passion. At least know what your truth is. So the students who just study in the class and do not look back at the book when they're alone, they cannot ever claim that they are sincere learners. Those who go through the books, those who revise their lessons, try to understand what they have been taught, पूछे अपने आप से क्या सिखाएगा आज हमें, क्या सीखा, तो वो अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स हैं। तो look at H. My boyfriend is always texting his female colleague. क्या कंप्लेन है इस लड़की की, क्या प्रॉब्लम है इस लड़की को, क्या क्या कहते हैं, क्या परेशानी है इस सज्जन को, बताओ। My boyfriend is always texting his female colleague. क्या बोली हो? मेरा बॉयफ्रेंड हमेशा अपने फीमेल कॉलीग को टेक्स्ट करते रहता है। तो आपने आकर पूछा कि सिर्फ टेक्स्ट करते रहता है तो ऐसे क्यों लिखा है? ऐसे लिखा है ये तो पता चला ना। तो मेरा भाई हमेशा हम पे चिल्लाता रहता है, माई ब्रदर इज ऑलवेज शाउटिंग एट मी, माई ब्रदर इज ऑलवेज येलिंग एट मी, माई ब्रदर इज ऑलवेज स्क्रीमिंग एट मी, माई ब्रदर इज ऑलवेज स्कोल्डिंग मी। लेकिन यही होना था ना। And this is good English. Here we use the present continuous with the word always to show something of this kind. Okay. I don't have anything else to say about those people who did not answer it correctly. We have finished this page, guys. सबके लिए page finish हो गया, कुछ सीखे भी हैं, कुछ थोड़ा सीखे, कुछ ज्यादा सीखे, of course. Everyday English. Now, move on. Exclamations with so and such. जो मैंने अभी एक एनालॉजी दी है ना, वो पियानो प्लेयर का, अकेले में प्ले करने वाला और पब्लिक में प्ले करने वाला, वो अपने आप से सबको पूछना है, do I enjoy learning English when I'm alone? Then I'm really interested in learning English. And if I only study in the class because I get an opportunity to talk to the teacher, to speak, and some people are listening to me, then I'm not learning English. You should know you're not learning English. You are basically enjoying the exposure that you're getting to public speaking. You enjoy being the celebrity in your mind. Because when the celebrities speak, some people listen. Okay. सब लोग को अपनी गलती का एहसास है कि उन्होंने क्या गलत जवाब दिया था. I hope you have understood. Let's move on. Everyday English. You have any confusion? Exclamations with so and such. Read and listen to the sentences. That was such an amazing film. That was such an amazing film. I was so scared. Read and listen. Share sound. 9.15. Nine point 15.
9.15. Exclamations with so and such.
That was such an amazing film.
I was so scared.
Repeat.
Nine 9.15. Exclamations with so and such.
That was such an amazing film.
I was so scared.
Repeat.
That was such an amazing film. I was so scared.
Which word in the sentence has the most stress?
Such and so.
Such and so.
Such and so have the most stress in those two sentences. So when we use these sentences, we make sure we stress the word such and so. Okay. Well, first point clear. Now that was such an amazing film. I was so scared. Now listen and repeat the sentences. Copy the stress and intonation. 9.16.
9.16.
I was so surprised.
Repeat.
It was
I
such
was
a
so
shock.
surprised.
It was such a shock. Repeat.
Such a shock.
It was such a shock.
Intonation. Copy the stress and intonation. Don't just say the
It
sentence.
was such a
Copy the
shock.
stress and intonation. It was such a shock.
I've had
Such a
such an
shock.
awful day.
So
I've had
surprised.
such an awful day. Repeat.
Such an awful day.
I have
I've
had
had
such
I've
an
had a
awful.
Such an awful day.
You
such
have
an awful
such
day.
crazy ideas.
You have such
You have such
crazy
crazy
ideas.
idea. You have such crazy ideas.
We had such terrible weather.
We had
such
had
terrible
such
weather.
terrible weather.
There were so many people in town.
There were
There were so
so
many people in town.
people in town.
There were so many
She
people in town.
sings so beautifully.
She
They
sings
sing
so
so
beautifully.
beautifully.
I've got so much
So
work.
beautifully.
I've got so much work. Now
Got
let's
so
create,
much work.
let's sort these
So
sentences.
much.
I want your attention on two sentences, okay? I was so surprised. She sings so beautifully. Repeat these two sentences. I was so surprised. She sings so beautifully.
I was so surprised. She
Now,
sings so
if you observe
beautifully.
these two
I was so
sentences, then you
surprised.
realize that the word so is used before adjectives and
Adverb and adjective.
adverbs.
Before verbs.
Adverb.
Adverbs.
Adverbs.
Yeah,
Before
beautifully.
adverbs and adjectives. Surprised is an adjective.
Adjectives.
Beautifully is an adverb. I was so surprised. She sings so beautifully. You know, Sahil, slowly and slowly, I'm realizing that not because I'm explaining it because you wanted me to share the recording, and I didn't. I think for last 2 days I didn't share the recording. Okay, I am not feeling very keen on sharing the recording nowadays, because when you want to give something as a support and the students start to use it as a something that to just depend on, okay, instead of using it as a support, temporary support, okay, then you feel bad about it. I had thought that recording would work as a help support for those people who attend the class but have some confusions in certain part of the class, and because of so many various reasons, they don't ask questions in the class. Even the quiet students, shy students will have an advantage, and they will watch the recording and they will just revise alone. Some students like studying alone. Guys like Saurabh, They study alone. They don't really want a lot of attention, You don't hear Saurabh speaking much in the class, right? So this kind of, feature like a recorded class could be such a help for students like Saurabh. But instead, what happened? A lot of students started to depend on them. Actually, they thought that, okay, they thought they have the recording, so they can easily miss the class. The same thing happened when I offered the second or the third batches to students who needed extra help. Some students started taking the class very lightly because they thought, sir will offer me a new batch. They did not show the intensity I needed. So I'm learning from those mistakes, and mistakes not on my part. They changed my good quality into a bad quality, actually. So I'm taking those features back. Slowly and slowly, I'm not very excited about sharing this recording thing. And I'm sure in a month or two, I will totally, recall it. I will call it back. I will not have this feature. Nobody will get the recording.
No, sir, don't do
You
that.
attend the class or you miss the class. Choice is yours. And anybody who wants to go to the next class, because of being absent and all, okay, they'll have to pay fee, half of the fee. I will still
Actually,
have
sir,
that right. I will still have the right to support those students who are working hard, but they need extra, help. So I will give them a chance to study in the next batch without any extra charges. That will be my decision, my prerogative, okay? I will decide. But when a student is irregular, not sincere enough, not, dedicated enough, and when they want me to give them an extra class, I will either decide not to, I will refuse, or when I offer them, I will offer them with some fee. They will have to pay some money because I can't really allow them to be insincere, not focused on the count that I will support them because they believe that I will always be there even when they're irregular and they're insincere. I just want to tell you, there is a guy, I won't mention his name in the class. He messaged me that he wants to come back to the class. And I said, I don't want you in my class. I refused him. I said, I don't want you in my class, sorry. And I will not further entertain your messages. Doesn't matter. Anything, nothing matters. I just don't want you in my class anymore. I don't want you.
sir, actually, sir, usually I don't miss my class, sir. But yesterday
Not
I was
you,
so
not you,
tired.
Sahil, not you, Sahil.
No, I
Don't
said,
explain, Sahil.
no,
Don't explain because this comment is not for you, Sahil. This comment is not for
yeah,
you,
I
okay?
know you are not talking about me, sir, but I am talking about yesterday's class. Yesterday I was very tired, sir. So I thought let's not attend today's class. That I can watch the recording. So I messaged you in the group, and you
I
wrote there
understand.
okay, Sahil, and
Yes, I
you did
know.
not
That's
send.
why, Sahil, again, I'm saying this is not for Sahil. This explanation is not for Sahil. All these things I'm saying,
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
clearly
sir.
is not for Sahil. He is one of the sincerest students. He has made a lot of improvement in himself, okay? And he has taken English very sincerely, intensively he has studied, okay? I should say intensely, not intensively, intensely, with full focus, full intensity. Intensively has a different meaning. Okay.
Sir, don't remove that feature, sir. It's really helpful.
I know some students will always make me feel that I'm making a bad decision because they were really benefiting from it. But those students will benefit anyway, because they're sincere anyway. They'll find another way. But I have to make sure that nobody becomes careless on my account, that, oh, because sir has this feature, I can relax. I won't let them. Or if I continue, by the way, with the recording feature, this I'm certainly going to remove, giving them a chance to study in the second or the third batch. No. Only one batch. You do your best here. Otherwise, I'll decide whether you go to another class or not. If you have been sincere and you still need extra help, of course. I don't change as a person. I change my attitude. You see, depending on the circumstances and the kind of people I'm dealing with. Can you imagine me saying no to a student that I will not teach you? Don't message me. Can you imagine me saying this? Now, again, I did that. Maybe I said this to you one day, but that was for one day, right? Next day you were in the class, but this conversation took place about 10 days ago, and I haven't changed my mind about that guy. You can understand why. So I'm the kind of person who likes helping people with their English. I enjoy it. But they have to appreciate what they get. If you take things for granted, then you pay the price, not me. I was so surprised. She sings so
So
beautifully.
you know what? I don't know the rest of the people, but I've improved a lot while listening to recording. Your class recordings. Sir.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Because while listening to class recording, you can observe that where you made mistake and
Yes,
how you sound.
it's a great
So, yep,
opportunity
that's good.
to
For some,
reflect on your own speaking. Because when you're speaking, you don't know how you sound. But when you watch the recording, you listen to yourself. You listen to the explanation the teacher gives.
that's
And if you need extra help, you can listen to the same thing the second time. It's the best feature completely. I agree. I mean, you have the whole class recorded to listen to it as many times you want. No, absolutely. But I don't know. I mean, I've definitely thought about it. Maybe I will share it with some people.
remember that lesson, sir. I still remember that lesson when you were explaining past perfect tense back in the back here. So I just watched the recorded video, that recorded class video, twice or thrice, maybe.
Okay.
I was very comfortable using past perfect tense. And next
Very
day you
good.
ask the same question to rest of the people, they wouldn't able to answer it. Just because they are they didn't watch or maybe. So, but this just because of this features, it's really helped me a lot to in order to improve my communication skill while listening to.
I totally know how great this as a feature is to have the recorded class. The entire class is recorded. Every single thing we do is recorded.
Yep.
Fine. I was so surprised. She sings so beautifully. Now I want your attention on these sentences. It was such a shock. I have had such an awful day. Both these sentences. It was such a shock. I've had such an awful day. What do you realize? Where do we use such? Before nouns. Right. And now, look at this. We had such terrible weather. 3 of them. We had such terrible weather. Again, similar. Terrible weather, right? Okay, I hope everybody knows when an adjective and a noun are written together they work as a noun. When an adjective and a noun come together, then what happens? They become a noun, okay? A noun phrase. There is a noun there, and it is used as a noun. That's why when we say tall man, then we use a tall man because it is a noun. And when we say honest man, then we say an honest man because here it is a noun equivalent. So we use an article. If it starts with a consonant, then article a, and if it starts with a vowel, then article an. A tall man, only tall is an adjective, no article needed. But when we say tall man, we say a tall man. When we say honest man, we say an honest man. So terrible weather is also a noun phrase, right? So we had such terrible weather. We are not using a here before terrible. Can you tell me why? We are not saying such a terrible weather. Why? The answer is very straightforward and easy. Weather is
uncountable nouns. Weather is uncountable.
So uncountable nouns do not take a or. But shock is a countable noun. We use such a shock, awful day, an awful day. And now plural nouns. You have such crazy ideas. So after such, we can use all kinds of nouns. We can use a singular countable noun. We can use a plural noun. We can use uncountable nouns. After such, we can use all kinds of nouns. आपकी आवाज कितनी अच्छी है. You have such a sweet voice. Right? Okay. You have such vivid imagination. You have such vivid imagination. आप गजब imagine करते हो. सब कुछ एकदम साफ साफ imagine कर लेते हो. All right. Vivid, clear. Vivid means clear. Clear imagination. So is used with adjectives and adverbs, and such is used with nouns, all kinds of nouns. Now, so many is used with countable nouns, so many, and so much is used with uncountable nouns. So, I've got so much work. And there were so many people in town. There were so many people at the party. And when you use this word so and such in the sentence, it gets the most stress in the sentence. So many people. There were so many people. That's the natural, intonation. The concept is clear, everyone? The concept is clear, or do you still have doubts? So is used with adjectives and adverbs. Such is used with nouns. So many will be used with plural nouns, and so much will be used with uncountable nouns. Okay. To talk about the number, right? So many people attended the party. Let's see how much you have understood. Exercise 4. Yes. Okay, yes. Let's do exercise 4. There are 8 sentences, and you have to complete them with these words in the box. Let's see. Ravi, समझ में आई बात? So is used before adjectives and adverbs. Such is used before nouns. That's all. इतना simple सा बात है ना?
So is used before adjectives.
Adjectives and adverbs, right? Because you had this example here.
Adjectives and adverbs.
I was so surprised. She sings so beautifully. I'll be right back. You guys do the exercise.
Room. Mukarram. We're also having tea. Are you there, Mukarram?
Okay, sorry guys, it took longer than I thought. Okay, how much time? Less than 1 minute. So we will meet on the other side of the meet class, and we will check the answers. Do number 5 as well. Do number 5 as well. Okay, match the sentences with the lines in 4. Yep. I hope you have done it. Have you? No? Okay, sometimes you guys do exactly what I ask. Huh? Okay, do number 5 as well. Yes.